Well, let me put it this way. When people ask me, friends and neighbors say, should I go buy iodine tablets? My answer is no. But the reason I say no is because we're not there yet. We live 5,000 miles away, and we would have several days to ascertain what the risk really was. If I was living within a 10 or 20-mile radius of that reactor, I would say, I think that's good advice.
All right. And thank you both for being with us. Still to come tonight.
The selection and election of one black man does not change life on the ground for the millions of poor people who are still neglected.
Ah, yes, new video of Reverend Jeremiah Wright has surfaced. And by the way, once again, he goes after little old me and has some harsh words for his pal, President Obama. We've got that and my debate with Juan Williams, and Michelle Bachmann debates Congressman Anthony Weiner. Coming up straight ahead. Now, while Japanese residents are picking up the pieces after one of the largest earthquakes in history, the so-called leader of the free world, he's been keeping himself busy as well. No, he hasn't been leading the relief efforts. In fact, he's barely commented on the tragedy in public. Instead, here are a few of the activities that President Obama has taken part in since being alerted to the disaster at 4 a.m. Friday morning. Now, that afternoon, he shared some laughs with members of the NHL's Chicago Blackhawks. On Saturday, before the tsunami water had even receded, the president, he was out playing around to golf. Now, before keynoting a comedy dinner for members of the mainstream Obama mania media, Monday he held a closed-door meeting with Democratic fundraisers at a luxury Washington area hotel. And yesterday, as Japan's nuclear emergency continued to spiral out of control, the president was busy filling out his brackets for ESPN. Only today did the White House finally take a step back and begin to acknowledge its carelessness. This afternoon, an event on the president's schedule was abruptly canceled. That event, an award ceremony in which President Obama was to have been honored for his commitment to government transparency. Even for this president, that would have been beyond the pale. Here with analysis, Fox News political analyst, he's laughing, Juan Williams. All right, 61 rounds of golf. He's got basketball. He's going to Rio. We forgot to mention he's going to Rio.
Yes.
Nice. He's got all these awards. He's meeting with NHL teams. Middle East is literally imploding. We've got Libya. He can't decide whether or not they're going to make a no-fly zone. Okay. He's big. He has plenty of time for his brackets. I'm glad he knows all, very knowledgeable about basketball. Come on, Wanda, this is beyond the pale.
It's not. I'm just surprised at you because it seems to me, just a few minutes ago, you were saying don't be an alarmist about what's going on in Japan. And here you are suggesting that he'd be like Chicken Little running around with his head cut off.
He barely commented on this one.
Of course he's commented. He's spoken to the Prime Minister. He has said that the Americans have nothing to fear from this. We've got, I think it's 8 naval ships out there, the Marines out there. He's coordinating humanitarian aid. Of course, he had a meeting with the head of USAID to talk about it.
25 minutes.
Well, how long did you want? His job is to make sure that we are expressing a clear commitment to one of our most important allies. You don't want him out there on the dock, consigning this box to go here, that box to go there. What do you want him to do? Put on a cape and go push back the tsunami?
Look, you know something, Juan? The economy in this country is tanking. Look at 3.9% last month food prices, the biggest gain since 1974. We've got the national average for gasoline headed up to $4 a gallon. We've got turmoil and nothing but turmoil in the Middle East. He can't decide which position to be on. He doesn't have a backbone. He's so timid he can't even decide on whether or not we want a no-fly zone.
Okay. I'm just going to ask. What do you mean he doesn't have a position on Libya? He said Gaddafi has to go.
Where's the backup?
He has frozen Gaddafi's assets. He's talking to people in NATO and the UN about doing a military action.
Let me show you something.
And his own conservative Republican Secretary of Defense has said, you know what, a no-fly zone is not an easy deal.
Let's go to Chip Reed. I got to give credit, asked a good question of the new White House spokesman, Jay Carney. Let's roll tape.
The president satisfied to follow, not lead, on deciding whether to do it?
I take issue with the characterization. We think it is precisely because the president believes that the best outcome in a situation like we see in Libya, as we have seen in different forms in other countries in the region, that the best outcome will come when the action taken by countries, third-party countries outside of the country where the unrest is happening, be done in in consensus with international partners.
What an answer. By the time that happens, he's bombing and slaughtering his own people. The rebels that want freedom have asked for our help, and the president is MIA.
I think it's something like 90% of the American people think, you know what, we don't want to get militarily involved in Libya. We don't want to be in a war in a third Muslim country. We should coordinate.
So he can slaughter these people?
No, of course not.
Even France and Great Britain and Germany have taken a stronger position than the U.S.
Are they intervening? Are they sending their people in?
They're talking. No,
they have not.
No, but listen, we can't get an answer on a no-fly zone.
Well, of course we can get an answer. The thing is, we've got to do it in a coordinated fashion. You and I both want Gaddafi out. That's not the issue. But I think you want somehow American forces to go in there right now. And I'm saying,
That's not what I'm saying.
What are you
saying?
saying?
I'm saying enforce the no-fly zone. Make a decision.
But
at least make a decision.
What did Secretary Gates say? That would mean taking out their installations. That would mean that we would be intervening in their civil war, Sean.
Then say, all right, now let me just tell you, I rarely, disagree with Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, boy, that would be the day.
Well, mark this day on your calendar.
All right.
Let's go back, Hillary Clinton.
It's 3 a.m. and your children are safe and asleep. But there's a phone in the White House and it's ringing. Something's happening in the world. Your vote will decide who answers that call.
Mr. President, pick up the phone. There's a lot going on in the world. I'll give you the last word.
Well, first of all, look, you can't expect that the president's going to take charge of everything. We shouldn't cancel St. Patrick's Day. He can go play golf. He's a human being. And filling out brackets, all of a sudden, that's worthy of denigrating him and suggesting that he's a bad guy. Look, if you want to talk about problems on leadership, let's talk about the budget. Let's talk about his failure to say, this is what I stand for. I would go with you on that one.
He punted on the budget.
Okay, we can agree on that.
Listen, he's timid on foreign policy. You know what his problem is? He's timid on foreign policy.
Wait a minute. This is the guy that sent more forces into Afghanistan and has pursued President Bush's course.
He's timid on foreign policy. He has alienated our closest ally, Israel, and thrown them down the stairs.
Oh, my God.
And I got to tell you something, Juan. He's voting present. His whole career is literally voting president.
I think his leadership style, which he doesn't say, this is what I believe, and gentlemen, here's what we want to accomplish.
There you go. That's not a leader.
Okay, but you know what?
He's weak.
His way is conciliatory. Wait a minute. Weak? He said we're going to go forward in terms of nuclear energy, building more plants.
When?
He said that Markey and all these other guys who said, let's have a moratorium, he said, no, we're not doing it. I think that you don't want him to do too much because you don't agree with the way he would do it.
He's done such a good job with the economy, $14 trillion in debt, and punts on entitlement reform.
Oh,
all right.
Stop. You know what? The prior president has no responsibility?
No, not the way this. $5 trillion in Obama debt. Coming up next, we're going to follow the very latest developments out of Japan. Also, Greg Palcott will be here live from the region, and Michelle Bachmann and Anthony Weiner shootout coming up on the federal budget battle. That is a debate you don't want to miss. Straight ahead.